What's going on, everyone? Cannabis Express 420 here. I actually want to talk about water curing today. It's a bit of a hot topic and actually a more recent trend to my knowledge, or at least I haven't heard a lot of people talk about it in the past. So I want to go over the process. I want to talk about if it's worth doing it in most cases. I want to talk about if I will do it at some point in the future. So what is water curing and how exactly does it work to cure your cannabis? Well, water curing basically is when you put weed in a jar and then you put water in the same jar and you leave it in the jar until you replace the water. And this is going to be an every single day process for the week or so that the curing process takes place. Until you stop seeing impurities in the water is when you stop on a day-to-day basis. What is it actually doing when it's in the jar in question? Well, that is a great question. Now, what it is doing in the jar, according to royalqueenseeds.com, which I'll leave an article down below if you guys want to read deeper into it. I will be sure to leave an article down below talking about water curing. Also, for the people who for some reason think I'm just lying about it being a thing, I don't know why I would lie about that. I would never advise to put just weed in water and soak it in until now, but you know, whatever. But yeah, I'll leave that article down below. So what it is actually doing when it's in the jar is it's breaking down all the chlorophyll and it's breaking down all the impurities. And there's one other thing that we'll talk about in a moment that it's doing. Now, one thing it's not doing is sacrificing trichomes. Since trichomes are not water soluble and you're not jiggling the jar around, probably shouldn't have done that hand motion, but you know, whatever. You're not shaking the jar around, you're not jostling it anyway, you're not treating it abnormally. So it's just sitting there breaking everything down, maybe rinsing some stuff off that you would have missed. Now, this speeds up the cure, which I can't say would make the smoke better, but it claims that the smoke is smoother. It's a smoother smoke. Now, my skepticism lies in if you do a 6-month cure that's like super long, you can get a high quality smoke out of your product, especially if you do it with precision and discipline. It's going to be very important in a long cure, but in this process, you don't need that. It's cute, it's fast, it knocks out the cure, but it does one thing that's really stopping me from doing it, and that thing is getting rid of a lot of terpenes. Since terpenes, as opposed to trichomes, are water soluble, it is going to get rid of a lot of those terpenes that are in your bud that make it flavorful and fantastic. And a lot of people who say they went through the water curing process or smoked bud that was water cured, it tastes really bland. So the only reason I would suggest you do this to all of your weed, or any weed really in general, is if you live in a state where you're not allowed to have it, and then you will alleviate the chance of someone smelling it, and then you won't get caught with it, and then it won't really be a problem. And I'm going to do it at some point. I'll do it to a little bit of it just to see what it's like, and the only reason is because I'm a YouTuber. I do this content and I'm trying to do it for a living. I'm gonna do some crazy shit with a couple ounces of weed, like whatever, it's not that big of a deal. I will do it for you guys. I'll tell you how it is and I'll tell you if I suggest it, but on paper it seems like the shittiest idea I've ever fucking heard. So with that, thank you very much.